Now, do you have a work husband or wife?
Yeah, apparently 1 in 5 of us have work spouses, and even though these relationships are platonic, most of them, experts say they're having a big impact at home.
X marks the spot. There we go. OK?
Is that it?
17% of us have a work wife or husband.
There we go. Oh.
And G&B is no exception. It's horrible. Come on. According to the research, nearly 2/3 of us look forward to work thanks to our work partner. In fact, nearly a quarter say the relationship is so important they'd consider quitting if their work spouse left. And when the day ends, work couples continue to keep in touch, with 41% meeting outside the office. But only a third will introduce them to their real husband or wife. Now psychologists warn that partners may feel pushed out.
Work is work, home is home, friends are friends, husbands are husbands.
These things can become very fluid.
If it's flirting and messaging a lot, I don't think I would like that.
Could be quite dangerous in terms of home relationships.
Well, joining us now are relationship expert Joe Hemmings and journalist Harriet Minter. So is this good for us then, Joe, having a wonderful work spouse?
It's good to have platonic friends at work. I think the problem is, because you see this person so much more than you see your own partner, there's this danger of having a quick bite of lunch with them, maybe a drink after work, actually sharing more and more with them than you might with your own partner, and it sets up a little bit of feeling that, you know, your own wife, husband might start feeling a bit neglected or pushed out or not quite be able to put their finger on what it is that make them feel unsettled. So I think you've got to be very careful.
So it's a relationship, Harry, that needs to be you need to tread very carefully with, because you don't want to put your actual real spouse in the shadow in any way.
I think we have to tread carefully with all our relationships, but I think I find a little bit ridiculous about this is the idea that actually you can't just be friends with somebody that you work with. If you are a heterosexual man and woman, you can't possibly just have a totally normal friendship without there being any danger of the two of you possibly having sex at some point. Why can you not just go into work and get on with the people that you work with?
Is it more than just about, you know, that kind of relationship, though? Is it about when you're sharing things, say you're working on a big project or something, and you're sharing details, and then you go home, and I say, how are you? And you think, gosh, I have to start from the beginning to explain my day to my partner, whereas the person at work knows everything about it. So is it as much about intimacy, the loss of intimacy, as anything else?
It is, but unless we're working with our other half, you're going to have to do that anyway, right? So actually, you're much better off having somebody at work that you have a good relationship with, that you can have a good time with at work, so you come home in a less stressed manner. So, I mean, it's an interesting point, though, isn't it, that Harriet makes, Joe? She's suggesting, why can't men and women have platonic relationships?
I get it, and why can't they?
But is that feasible? Is there always going to be an underlying sense of attraction in this sort of instance?
What we're talking about here is that one special person that you really get on well with. And research has shown that the more time you spend with someone who's agreeable to you in the first instance, so personality, humour, whatever it is that made you warm to them more than your other work colleagues, that increases over time physical, sexual attraction to that person. So it's like a slow burn relationship developing where they're not even aware. 65% of these people weren't even aware they had this situation, or that their
partners... Until it's too late?
Well, it could be too late, but the main thing is you need to be aware of it, because it's often the partners that notice their husband and wife pulling back, because the things they share with them in the evenings are now being shared with this very special person at work, not a straightforward platonic colleague.
So give us some rules to navigate this then.
OK, so I think awareness is the first thing. If your partner asks you, it's difficult to ask someone, what's going on. It's not an affair. They don't know quite where to sort of put it. Don't say they're silly, there's nothing going on. Reassure them and tell them what it is. Try not to do too many of the quick drink after work to discuss what's gone on in the day, spend a bit more time with their wife. I think these people, they need to give their partners reassurance and recognise the boundaries and how easily it can slip over into something deeper.
Do they need to give them reassurance, though? Because this, to me, actually sounds like a case of when somebody is just not being realistic about actually what we all need. it's an awful lot to expect all of us to put all our emotional reliance on one person.
I agree, but you shouldn't tell
and
your
not
partner
be jealous about
if
that.
they're feeling concerned or neglected. You shouldn't say, "Don't be ridiculous. It's all fine. They're just a
But
work
that's just
colleague."
respecting your partner's
Indeed,
needs, right? And that's respecting them. But also, I think we set up this bizarre world where, particularly to women, we say, "Oh, don't let your husband talk to another woman because that's going to be so dangerous.
Well,
don't let them have a relationship with another woman. That's so dangerous."
Well, the two things
Instead
are very
of just
different.
assuming that women could actually have a really good relationship with a man, and that man could have a friendship with another woman. And those two women could also be friends.
I 100% agree with you, Harriet. Don't get me wrong. I really do. I'm all for it. But I just know that in this particular situation, there's one special person, how easy it is, unaware. You just don't know when it starts developing into something more emotional and stronger, rather
65%
than
didn't realise that slow burn was finally happening.
I've been waiting 20 years for the slow burn between Ben and I and Ben or something. How slow is this burn, Joe?
I think everybody's 65 years, don't worry about that.
All right.
Franco on Facebook said he's got 2 work wives and my home partner has no problem with it. Lucky old Franco. Yeah. There you go. And Tammy says, I've never had a work spouse, but I've had a succession of work mummies.
Oh, OK.
So imagine
people that kind of mother you and look after you.
Yeah.
That sounds nice. Let us know what you think. Do you think it's a little bit dangerous? Are you worried maybe about your partner's friendships at work? Let us know. We'd love to know what you think.
As Harriet's saying, just something that you should enjoy and embrace and use it, particularly to help through the workday? My work daddy's in the studio, isn't he, over there?